Hey, good looking. I'm so glad that you came to my kitchen today to sit there and see what we all have cooking. Grab a hold of that vine, swing right on in my kitchen, and let's get cooking. Good looking. Hey there, good looking. I'm so glad that you came to my kitchen today because I have another copycat recipe. And today we're gonna sit there and do the Alma Walhberg open-faced sloppy joes. And let me tell you, if you want a fun and filling recipe, this is the one to make. I mean, I'm telling you, young kids are gonna adore this all the way up to adults. These are so full of flavor and they're so filling at the same time. So let's go ahead and jump right on into the recipe. Now, I cut this recipe down for my husband and myself, but in the recipe that I'm gonna have up at the end of the video here or down in the description box below is gonna be the full recipe. I just cut it down to serve my husband and myself. So when you're seeing me add all the ingredients, keep that in mind. Now, in my pan, I already have the ground beef. So to that, I want you to sit there and add the Worcestershire. I want you to add the dried minced onion. We're going to sit there and put the vinegar off to the side with the ketchup, but we will be adding the garlic powder. Oops. We will be adding the brown sugar when we add the ketchup, the vinegar, and then we're going to hold off. We're going to be using some Homestead tube tomato paste, and then we're going to give it 2 good pinches, and I see I need to add salt. So I'm going to add 3 pinches because I'm almost out of salt. And we're going to add a good pinch of black pepper. And, by the way, remember that cheese whiz I showed you how to can up? Well, we're going to be using it for this recipe. So, I'm going to take my ground beef with all the seasonings in it. We're going to take it over to the stove. I'm going to cook it all up. I'm going to break all the ground beef up. And then we're going to bring it back over to the counter. We're going to add our tube paste or tomato puree. We're going to add the vinegar. We're going to add the ketchup. And we're going to add the brown sugar. So, off to the stove I go. Here the beef is cooking over at our stove. Now, before I bring it back over to the counter, I'm sorry if I'm steaming up the camera. I'm going to sit there and drain off any excess grease. That's always been mandatory with me. I have it back over at my counter. I drained off all the grease. Now, I'm just gonna sit there and put this ground beef mixture here back into our pan. So, I have my spoon. And I'm just gonna sit there and put it all back into my pan. Now we can add the rest of the ingredients to the ground beef mixture. So I'm going to add the brown sugar. We're going to add the vinegar, ketchup, and of course we have to add some tomato puree. Well, right here I have some what I like to call homestead tomato paste in a tube. Simply what I did was I just put some leftover tomato paste that I had. I put it in a snack Ziploc baggie, wrapped it all up until I got all the air out of the Ziploc baggie. Now that I want to use some of it, I just simply, instead of snipping off the corner, I'll just open up the Ziploc baggie and take the part that I need. So I'm going to sit there, go grab a spoon, and I'm going to grab as much of the tomato paste that I need for my sloppy joes. So I have my spoon. I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to grab the amount that I would need. Take it out, add it to my pan. I'm just going to set that off to the side. And now we're just going to sit there and mix all these up. And keep mixing yours until everything is well mixed. And we'll go on to the next step. So basically, this is just a sloppy joe part. We still have a lot of the sloppy joe to build yet. So I'm just gonna leave this set. We're gonna let all the flavors in the saucepan have one heck of a party, and we're gonna get to making the sauce. Okay, now we're gonna sit there and build the burger sauce that Alma sat there and would add to the sloppy joes. Let me tell you, Alma sure knew how to sit there and bring all the flavors to savor, especially at mealtime. So, big homage to Alma. We love you, and rest in peace, darling. First off, for this burger sauce, you're gonna have to get yourself out a bowl. So I have a bowl here. Now again, I'm not gonna go into the how much of how much, because I broke down the recipe so it fits my husband and myself. So let's get building that burger sauce. Let's go ahead. Take your mayonnaise or Miracle Whip or Duke's, whatever you prefer. Now I'm not going to tell you what brand name you need to make yours with. It's your kitchen. Go by your kitchen rules. So let's go ahead. Add all that goodness. Now add the vinegar. Add your sweet pickle relish. Add your ketchup. Now we're gonna add some pepper. Go ahead, stir all this goodness up. Here our sauce is all made up. Woohoo! I got my tractor farm stool back. Woohoo! Even though I got hurt off of it really bad. I mean, my husband can contest of how bad I got hurt. But anyways, back. Now, there's one last thing I need to make, and I have a video already made of it, and it is of the onion straws. So, I'll be sure to leave that little video up in the iCards so you can follow along and make your own onion straws. Okay, we have everything all ready for our copycat version of Alma Walhberg's Open Face Sloppy Joes. Now, I told you I had to get some onion straws all made up. Well, I have a whole big bowl full plus. And believe me, my old man's been trying to snitch all afternoon. Now, this is how Alma would have sat there and served hers. She would have sat there and brought out some bread, and she would have sliced it Texas toast style. Now, if you don't want to sit there and go the Texas toast style way, go ahead. Grab a bun. I made these buns myself. So, I mean, if you would rather sit there and use half of a bun, that's your prerogative. But the way Alma did it, she made hers out of Texas toast. So, I think we're going to stick to Alma's way of doing things. And I'm going to slice up some Texas toast of my homemade Wonder Bread. I brought out a plate to put it all on. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and slice up the Texas toast. Okay, I sliced up one piece of bread because remember, it's open face, so here's one slice of Texas toast. Let me go ahead, remove my breadboard. Now, Alma would sit there and heat up the cheese. So I'm going to go ahead, hand my cheese off to Chef Mike, and he's going to do the same for me. And by the way, this is the cheese whiz that we canned up. So I'll be sure to leave an iCard up above here. Now let's go ahead. And now I know everybody's gonna wanna sit there and know, what does a cheese sauce look like after you open it? Oh, it looks like canned cheese. So off to Chef Mike this goes so he can warm up my cheese. But there you go, that's what it looks like. And yeah, see, it doesn't come out of the jar either until you warm it up. Best thing you could have on your pantry shelf. Also, we're gonna toast up our Texas toast as well. Chef Mike handed me back my cheese sauce. So we're just gonna set that there. My toast is yet still toasted. I have my Texas toast toasted. Now, let's grab some of the Sloppy Joe mixture. Now this is how the Walburg's done it. Then she would sit there and grab some of her burger sauce. She would lay a layer of that down. And a word on the burger sauce. You can put as little or as much as you want on your open face sloppy joe. Then what she would do next, remember that heated cheese sauce? All that goes right on top of the burger sauce. Again, you put the desired amount that you want on yours. And then the last thing, this is the most special thing out of the whole sandwich. Look at these. Oh my goodness. Yes, please. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And again, you put as much of that on yours as you want. That's a Walburg open face sloppy joe sandwich. Look at that pretty gorgeous thing that's gonna be gracing our taste buds. OMG, yes, please. So, if you liked what you saw here today with this open face Walburg Sloppy Joe sandwich, please give me a thumbs up. Please be sure to share, and most of all, subscribe. Hit that little bell, that way you always know every time I do put out a new video. And as always, here's to happy cooking, but better yet, happy eatins'. Y'all come back now. You hear? Hey, old man.
Yes, Ma.
He's coming. Wanna do a taste test for me?
I can.
It's gonna be funnier this way. Do you want to sit there and pick it up and take a taste test? Or do you want a fork? Hey, by the way, what the fork is for supper tonight?
Want a piece, Mama?
No, I'll make myself a sandwich. Wow, that's a big taste test. Told you, people. Told you. Told you. Don't let him fool ya.
Oh, wow.
We gotta wait for him to clear his mouth. We're still waiting.
Very good, honey. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not gonna sit there and tease you all anymore. Here's the recipe. Enjoy.